I had to let a superstar go one time for academic reasons, and it was tough, and she couldn't stand me. I had to kick her off the team. She left the school.
What if the biggest story in women's basketball isn't what happened, but what people think happened? For weeks, social media has been flooded with claims that Caitlin Clark is unhappy, claims that she's frustrated, claims that she's ready to leave Indiana. Some videos have gone even further, suggesting Clark could walk away from the Fever altogether. But how much of that is actually true? And why has one of the most talked about athletes in America become the center of so many rumors? Tonight, we're separating fact from fiction. We're examining what Caitlin Clark has actually said, what the Indiana Fever have actually done, and why speculation surrounding the biggest star in women's basketball continues to dominate headlines. Because the real story may be far more complicated than the rumors.
I coached Caitlin Clark for 2 summers in USA basketball. She's got her confidence is incredible, and her ability to take something on her back, to seize a moment, is unlike many things we've ever.
To understand the current situation, we have to go back to the beginning. Since entering the WNBA, Caitlin Clark has been under a spotlight unlike anything the league has ever experienced. Her arrival brought record television ratings, increased attendance, national media coverage, and millions of new viewers. But with that attention came something else: constant scrutiny. Every loss became a headline. Every comment became a debate. Every coaching decision became a controversy. As the Fever struggled through difficult stretches, online speculation intensified. Fans began questioning everything. Was Clark happy? Was the organization doing enough? Could she eventually want a different situation? The problem? Many of those questions were based on assumptions rather than confirmed information.
The Indiana Fever is being run like a local corner store, okay? It looked like it's being run by the nieces and nephews that are just getting a few dollars to help out Unc with the business. And it's unprofessional, and it doesn't seem fit for a star like Caitlin.
One of the most important questions in this entire discussion is simple. What has Caitlin Clark actually said? When reviewing her public comments, Clark has consistently emphasized team growth, development, and improving as a group. She has spoken about learning the professional game. She has discussed chemistry with teammates. She has talked about the challenges of adapting to the WNBA. What she has not publicly done is announce plans to leave Indiana. She has not confirmed any trade request, and she has not stated that she intends to walk away from the franchise. That distinction matters, because in today's social media environment, speculation can quickly become accepted as fact. And once a narrative begins spreading online, it often becomes difficult to separate reality from rumor.
Lynn Dunn, the 90-year-old former Purdue coach, former Indiana Fever coach, she's out getting the messaging out on what they're about to do to Caitlin.
Whether fair or not, Caitlin Clark has become the face of an entire movement in women's basketball. Few athletes have entered a professional league carrying this level of attention. Every game is analyzed. Every interaction is discussed. Every decision is dissected. That pressure affects everyone around her as well. The Fever organization, her teammates, coaches, league executives. Everyone connected to Clark operates under a microscope. And when expectations reach unprecedented levels, criticism often follows.
I coached Caitlin Clark for 2 summers in USA basketball. She's got her confidence is incredible, and her ability to take something on her back, to seize a moment, is unlike many things we've ever seen.
The Indiana Fever face one of the most difficult challenges in professional sports: building a championship contender while simultaneously managing the expectations attached to a generational superstar. Success rarely happens overnight. Even some of the greatest players in basketball history required years before reaching championship level. The question facing Indiana is not whether Caitlin Clark is talented enough. Few people doubt that. The question is whether the organization can build the right environment around her. And that's where much of the public debate originates.
The Indiana Fever is being run like a local corner store, okay? It looked like it's being run by the nieces and nephews that are just getting a few dollars to help out with the business, and it's unprofessional, and it doesn't seem fit for a star like Caitlin Clark.
As we look ahead, one thing is clear. Caitlin Clark remains one of the most important athletes in American sports. Her future will continue generating headlines. Her performances will continue drawing attention. And speculation will likely continue whenever the Fever face adversity. But until verified information emerges, the most responsible approach is focusing on facts rather than rumors. Because in a world driven by viral headlines, facts still matter. And the facts tell us this. Caitlin Clark remains an Indiana Fever player. There has been no confirmed mid-season walkout, no verified trade demand, and no official announcement that she plans to leave the franchise. The future remains unwritten. And that may be the biggest story of all.
Abdul-Jabbar ended up in Los Angeles. Shaquille O'Neal ended up in Los Angeles. LeBron James ended up in Los Angeles. This is what the NBA does.
For weeks, the conversation surrounding Caitlin Clark has been impossible to ignore. Every sports talk show, every social media platform, and nearly every WNBA discussion has seemed to revolve around one question. Is everything really okay between Clark and the Indiana Fever? The speculation has grown so loud that many fans have begun treating rumors as established facts, creating an atmosphere where every post-game interview, every sideline interaction, and every coaching decision is analyzed frame by frame in search of hidden meaning. What makes this situation particularly fascinating is that much of the narrative has developed in the absence of any direct confirmation from Clark herself. In today's sports world, where athletes routinely share their thoughts through interviews, podcasts, social media, and live streams, silence often becomes a story of its own. Some observers interpret that silence as professionalism, arguing that Clark is focused solely on basketball and helping her team improve. Others see it as evidence that deeper frustrations may exist behind the scenes. The truth is that neither interpretation has been definitively proven, yet the uncertainty has only fueled even greater curiosity among fans and media members alike. Adding to the intrigue is the unprecedented spotlight Clark has carried since entering the WNBA. Few rookies in the history of professional sports have arrived with such enormous expectations, and even fewer have been tasked with transforming an entire league's visibility almost overnight. Record television ratings, sold-out arenas, increased merchandise sales, and a surge of national attention have all followed her career, creating pressure not only on Clark but also on the Indiana Fever organization itself. Every decision made by the franchise is now viewed through the lens of how it impacts the league's biggest star. Supporters argue that Clark deserves an organizational structure capable of maximizing her talent and protecting her long-term development, while critics caution against placing unrealistic expectations on a franchise that is still working to build a consistent contender. As a result, ordinary basketball conversations have evolved into larger debates about leadership, team culture, player development, media influence, and the future direction of women's professional basketball. The reality is that no verified evidence currently suggests Clark has demanded a trade, threatened to leave, or announced plans to walk away from Indiana. However, the persistence of these rumors reveals something significant about her influence. Every move she makes generates headlines because she has become far more than a basketball player. She represents the hopes of longtime WNBA supporters, the excitement of millions of new fans, and the commercial growth of a league experiencing historic momentum. Whether the Fever ultimately emerge as championship contenders or continue facing growing scrutiny, one fact remains undeniable. Caitlin Clark's future has become one of the most closely watched stories in sports, and until clear answers emerge, speculation will continue to dominate the conversation. The question now is not simply what happens next on the court, but whether the noise surrounding Clark will eventually fade or grow even louder as the season progresses. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more fact-based WNBA coverage, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and let us know in the comments. What do you think the future holds for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.